Hi everyone, our journal page today, and I've gathered some green paints, acrylic paints, and this is one of my new journals that I made from A3, 240 gram per sheet. It really doesn't matter the green shades, I just want to play with them. I've got a lush foliage, holiday green, ocean green, I've got a citrus green. I also have some turquoise and some deep green. I just want to play with them in the background. I'm going to put some of each one here. And we'll see. Whoops. This needs shaking. Shaken, not stirred. Okay. So we've got all kinds of greens here, and I'm just going to put some paint on my page. I'm just starting like this, and I'm not cleaning my brush. I'm just playing with the colors and letting them mix. There is nothing planned about it, and we'll see what comes out of it. I'm planning on layering a lot of stencils on top, and I'm more interested in stains of color than anything accurate. And as you can see, I've managed to splatter my page. Let's take, I think I need a little bit of white here just to get more shades, but I'll continue and maybe add a little bit later. As I said, nothing planned about it, just putting down some paint. And I don't even want it to be in the same size or anything. As you can see, just smearing paint, having fun with it. Nothing to it. I'm also trying to use up all this paint. It's old and it's starting to give me trouble, so I'm just trying to use it and finish it with it. So let's see, a little bit of white, just a smidge of it. Yeah, maybe a little bit more here. As I said, it's quite intuitive, really not planned. I'm just smearing paint. Yeah, I think this is it. That's enough. So I've got this, and now I want to stencil on it. I just need this to be completely dry, so I'm going to give it a blast with my heat tool and I'll come back. I'm back. So now I want to stencil on top of all of this, and I've got some white gesso here. This is the stencil that I want to use, and I'm planning on going all over. So I'm going to have quite a lot of work to do here. I'm using a makeup sponge, and I'm taking a little bit of gesso, and I'm also dabbing it because I don't want excess on my sponge, and I don't want any spillage underneath. I'm also not interested in making this a complete white. I'm dabbing here quite gently. I want the part of the paint showing through, so it's more to give a pattern to my background and not making it the focal point. Best explanation that I can give for this thing. This is adding some visual texture to the background, so it's not supposed to take interest from what is going to go on top. So I'm being very gentle with the dabbing. If I wanted it to be more prominent, then I would have to do at least 2 or 3 layers of the gesso to bring it to be completely white. Let's lift it so you can see what I'm doing. Here it is. And it also gives a faded look, and that I'm going for. I wanted to merge with the white that I left on the bottom and on the top of the page. Now the stencil is not covering, as you can see, the whole page. What I'm planning to do is first do the middle like this, and then I will move my stencil just so, let me show you. I will go like this so I can continue with a little bit of the pattern so it will merge with the white edgings. So I'm going to continue doing this. It's going to take me quite some time to go all over this, but I hope it will be worth it. I'll be back. I'm back. So finished doing this. I'm really in love with this background. Now I want to do more stenciling, and I'm going to use this stencil right here. I'm just not sure what color. I was debating if I wanted black, if I wanted with the deep green, but I'm afraid the deep green will be too much like this because I've already used it. So what I'm going to do is just put some of the deep green and some of the black, and I'm going to stencil with both of them, and let's hope something nice will come out of it. So I've got the 2 colors here, and again some makeup sponge. I'm going to start with the deep green again, dabbing so I won't have too much excess, and I can already see that it's not enough, so I'm switching to the black. This acrylic paint is not a heavy one, so it doesn't quite give me an opaque layer when I'm stenciling. That's why I'm now combining the black and the green while stenciling. and I know you can't really see it because it's really dark, but I do try to use the black and the green, alternating between them, so it won't be a complete silhouette of black and it won't be just the green that will disappear with what I have in the background. Of course, when I'm finished, I can always take some kind of acrylic pen, like Posca pen or something like that, and do a line for the edges of all the what I'm stenciling right now. Not that it would be awful if it will be all black there, but I do try to add a little bit of the green so it won't be as harsh with the black. A lot of time when you want to do a darker color and you don't want it to be too much of a contrast, then you need to take the black and just mix it with whatever color you already have, and then it won't be so harsh. And even though in the video you probably can't see the difference between the dark green and the black, it is here, and it does give a little bit more interest to the stenciling when it's not a complete one color and you have variation. And of course, if something you don't like it, you can always go over it with gesso and start all over. Even if it's just the stencil. If I don't like the color, I can leave the stencil on, put the white gesso, and then switch to another color. Trying to be quick about it. And I'm already planning on my next stencil. It's all about layering stencils today. Basically, this black this stencil with the black or the deep green is more like laying some frame for my focal image, like another background that will be for my focal image. Okay, and also it adds some a more dramatic look when you are using some kind of a darker color on top of this. And I'm thinking that I want to add here and here, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I will add more of the stencil here, and this will be as is, just these two corners. I'm going to do these two corners and let this dry, and then we'll continue. I'll be back. I'm back. So I want to do my focal image. It's another stencil. Now you won't see much of it. This is on acetate, but I've had this stencil made on this plastic divider a long time ago, but this is too flimsy and I just transferred it to acetate, and I hope you can see. And that's what I'm going to do here. And I want it to pop off the page, so what I'm going to do is stencil first with a white gesso and then apply a second coat of acrylic paint. Otherwise it won't be it won't pop, and it would be semi-translucent on this quite dark colors underneath. So I'm just placing it, and it's a little bit difficult because well, it's transparent. If you're making stencil with acetate, I recommend to use something sprays like this, and spray it from afar, so you will have a really thin coat of it, and then it will be translucent and not transparent, so you will have a little bit of color, so you will see what you're doing. But I will just use it as is for right now. Maybe after I will use it then. So going back to the white gesso I used before, same thing, just stenciling, and here I will need to do a nice coat of the gesso. I'm thinking maybe 3 flowers on my page. Right now I'm just doing 1, so you can see what I'm talking about. And I wanted my flowers to, I wanted the black or the deep green to frame my focal image, which is the flowers, but I still wanted the flowers to go outside the edges of this frame. So not everything is like symmetrical or boxed in. So that was the only planning that I had in mind. I can hardly see what I'm doing because it's transparent, but let's hope it will be okay. Trying to cover so we'll have nice white base for my paint. Here we go. So here where it's going into the white, you can hardly see it, but when I will go back with for that matter red and do the stenciling on top of the white gesso, it will all be as it should be. So I'm going to do, I think, 2 more flowers with the gesso, and I'll come back. I'm back. So finished with stenciling with the white gesso. Now I'm going to apply some paint. I'm going again with the same stencil here, and a makeup sponge. I've got some yellow, red and Bordeaux here, and I'm just starting to dab, and I'm mixing. I want variation in the color. The only thing that I do try is to keep the darker color to the bottom of well, each petal, whatever, just so it will look more dimensional. But otherwise I'm just letting everything mix and having all kinds of shades in between. I can also wait for it to dry and then go in with a brush, with all kinds of other stuff that and make everything more dimensional by applying a shadow where I want it to be. Right now I'm just playing with the colors, adding a yellow where I want more color and also highlights, like so. Let's see. Okay, here it is. So I'm going to do first, this is still wet, so I don't want to ruin it. I will just move to another flower like here and do this, and I'm going to do the same thing over and over again. I'll be back. I'm back. So finished coloring my flowers. I want to add details. I want some dots here in the middle. I've got this acrylic pen. It's from the cheap store. It's supposed to be black, but a little bit metallic. I don't know if it will show. I'm just going to do some dots here, and it's spreading. I don't like it very much, but I'll be careful. It really doesn't matter. Maybe if I will tilt my page, you will see that it has a little bit of shine to it, but never mind, not the major point of this thing. Now I want to add a little bit more emphasis to the bottom of my flowers. I've taken this brush marker by Winsor & Newton, and before I'm going in with black, I thought I'll just use this and see if it's enough. Just at the bottom of my petals, like so. Just to give it a little bit more definition. Like so, and also a little bit here. And well, as I said, basically at the bottom of my petals. Yeah, it seems enough that I won't need to use black. And also here. I've tilted my page just so it will be easier for me. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is enough. Yeah, now a stem, and I'm going to start again acrylic pen. This is from Zig, and I'm not sure how this will be, if it will be visible enough, but I'm working with what I have. Maybe I will add another color just to give it again highlight. It's not really important. I just need a hint for a stem. It doesn't have to be a real thing. Yeah. So this is Posca pen, and I'm using it just, as I said, to give a little bit of highlight and more definition to the stem. Of course, I could always go with a brush and acrylic paint. Good enough for me. And now I just want to stencil a word here. I'm going to put this one, dream, here, and let's see, I've got left some of the black acrylic paint, so that's what I'm going to use, and it will go with the rest of what I've done here. Let's see, let's hope it's fine. Oh yeah, I like it. Okay. I thought about doing some more stamping, but I really like how it looks right now, and so I'm leaving it be. That's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. Thank you for leaving me comments below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.